Okay guys, welcome to the sewing tutorial of this cargo pant. So in the previous video we were drafting the cargo pant, and now we want to sew it together and see how beautiful it comes out. So I've cut my zip flyer already, and I'm going to be bringing up a video on how to cut the zip flyer if you don't know how to do that already. And also I've cut the side pocket and my front pocket, and yeah, that's it. So now there's something I want to specify. So in case you want to do this type of pocket, so now this 1.5 inches here, you could see um on our cargo pant, while we were drafting, we had this our pocket carved out. So now if you want this your pocket here to be inside, okay, to be inside like this, and then your hand is going to pass through, okay, that means there's a different way on how you can cut it. I'm going to drop a tutorial on that as well. All right, it could be a measure, the flyer and the pocket, how to cut an inner pocket, but this particular one is going to be an outside pocket, so where we're going to put the pocket outside.
Okay, if you've not watched the drafting video, go ahead and do that because this is more of the referral.
We're going to be stitching on it outside, right, outside the pant. So now if this is the same process you want to use, go ahead and give your pocket a fold, and this is going to help you stitch on it. And you have to ensure that your stitching is as straight and neat as it should be, okay? So you're going to give it the straight stitch all the way around. And then when you come to this point, if you want it to be an imaginary pocket, you're going to fold this and you also sew along this point. But if you still want it to be a pass through, you could keep something in there. What you want to do is when you sew up to this point here, you see the top and the sides, you're going to leave this open. What you do is just to hem this edge here. So these are the front bodies now. um, the front piece. So let me go ahead and sew my zip and then attach it to this. So what you want to do is grab the right side of your trousers. So now when you place it side by side, right side facing your own self or outward, right side facing outward, this is going to be your right hand side and this is going to be your left hand side. So what you want to do is, for a female pant, you want to put the zip flyer on your right hand side so that when you are turning it over, the flyer is going to be on the left hand side. Do you understand? But if you put it on the left now, when you turn the flyer like this cover flap is going to be on the right side, and that's how to sew for male, not female. So this is a female cargo pant, and that I'm going to turn. This is my flyer, all right, the zip fly. So now I'm going to put the straight side. Look at it, has a curvy side and it has a straight side. So this straight sides now, I'm going to put it like this, right side facing each other, and I'm going to sew it with half of an inch all the way to maybe about 7 inches, because this zip flyer is 8 inches long, okay, 8.5 inches long, and I want my zip to stop at 7 inches, and that will be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and sew it all the way to 7 inches. Then when I'm done, you're going to see what we're going to do next.
And guys, I'm so sorry. I didn't know my camera skipped that part where I joined the zipper flyer. So I had already gone ahead to join it. I'm so sorry. This is the finished look. I might probably do a video on how to join a zipper flyer, but for the side pocket, I had already explained it at the starting of the video. You can do well to rewatch it again. So sorry. If I'm to move it this way, it indicates that this trouser is for a female. But if it is coming this way, it means this trouser is for a male. So because this particular cargo pant is for a female, we're going to be flipping the flyer to this side. So this happens to be the left hand side and this is the right hand side, okay? I hope you can see clearly. I'm go ahead and stitch the zip fly. I want you to see how I'm going to cover it up, and then the process to join in the back and the front. Okay, so now what you're going to do is, looking at this side of the zip flyer, going to turn this to this side, okay, like so. You can switch it whichever way, but this is my comfortable side. Okay, so now stitch with half of an inch on your crotch line, like this. Start from here and stitch it all the way to this point. Okay guys, so after I was done stitching the crotch line, this is what it looks like. Okay, so you just want to go ahead and arrange everything to make sure it's sitting, please. Next, you're going to sew at where my hand is stretching out to, all the way from your crouch curve to your waistline, just the way I'm stressing it out on the video like this. And that was me just going ahead to, arrange everything and make sure everything sit nice. If you're sewing for a male, you're going to stitch to the right. If you're sewing for a female, you're going to stitch to the left. So I went ahead to just arrange everything and make sure that my under zipper flyer does not cover my zip, because you want everything to come out really nice when you're done stitching. So I just went ahead to stitch from my waistline to my crouch curve point where it starts. Okay, so that's basically what I was doing here, and you can see the nice design. You can do anything here. I decided to give it my cuff as though I was stitching my couch line. So now you see that my zip is opening up without any blockage. You want to make sure that from underneath nothing is blocking your zip, okay, when you are opening. Okay, if you're like me, you pretty much do this. I like aligning my pants blocks together first and see that everything sit nicely before I go ahead to stitch. So this is the pants back block. I'm trying to align my crouch line before I go ahead to sew with half of an inch, because that's the seam allowance that I left while we were drafting. Okay, so just go ahead and join your back crouch line. That's for your back pant block. Okay, that's what I was basically doing here. And when you're done stitching with half of an inch, you're going to press it out. Okay, iron out your seam. Okay, or you press out your seam, whichever one works for you. Okay guys, I'm done pressing out my seam, and as you can see, it's nice and flat. I introduced my front pants block to the back block, and I'm just trying to align everything. And now I was just saying here in the video that some people try to sew their pant from the waist to the hemline, and if it works for you, then it's fine. But most times I steal my hemline to the waistline, and it pretty much worked, because that is when you're going to see that your front piece is lower than the back piece. And sometimes I start from the waist and then get to align it with my crouch line. So do what you like. Okay, now before we proceed, this was me just trying to, go ahead and stitch my pocket, getting it ready for use. If you've not watched how to cut a cargo pants pocket, do well to check out that video and come back and join us, because we're going to be making use of this pocket in this particular sewing video. Now, I won't be doing much of talking. Now back to our pant block. So I just want to go ahead and stitch with the same allowance that I gave while I was drafting. And mine was just 1 inch. You just want to go ahead and sew in your allowances, and then this is what I had when I was done. And sew the both sides of your pant blocks, okay, the front and the back together, leaving the couch area open, okay, as you can see on the video here. um this was like the middle of the night, so you could see I'm getting tired, but I had to just push through to the end for you guys. And then that was it. I allowed my crouch line to be open, because this is going to help us when we're going to be stitching our pocket. So now the time that we've been waiting for by some people though, is how we're going to be attaching our pockets to the cargo pant. Now, you want to pay attention. These are all my pockets. So I have 2 pockets on each side, and that gave me a total of 4 pieces. Now you see the way I'm aligning it. Now your pocket could be of different sizes. It must not necessarily be the same. Okay. Here now, how you're going to attach it to your main pant block is totally dependent on you, but there are some format to which you can follow. Go ahead and measure the width of your pocket. When you measure the width of your pocket, you measure the length of your pocket, and then you go ahead and place, for instance, this one now we have 5 inches, so 5 divided by 2 is going to give you 2.5. So you're going to come to the middle here and make sure that your 2.5 is registered at the middle here. Okay, your 2.5 should be at the middle here, and then what you do is to mark 2.5 to this other side, and then on 5.5, I mean rather 5 inches here, and then you go ahead here, look at the pocket, you measure the length of your pocket, and this is 8 inches. So from that 5.5 inches that you had, you measure down 8. You're going to, from that 5.5, you're going to measure down 8 inches, and then you chalk. You come to this other side, you measure 8 inches, and then you chalk. What you do is just to connect it like this with a straight line. Okay, with a straight line, and you just sew round. Okay, and when you're sewing, you're going to place on the 1/2 inch that you left this way, and then you stitch. You come to the bottom this way, and you stitch all round like that. But this particular one, I'm going to be placing my pocket on the front piece of the trouser. I don't want it to be at the center where you have part to the back and part of it to the front. I want everything to be at the front. Okay, so now another important thing you want to take note of is the distance from your side pocket, like the front side pocket, this one that you had before now. Okay, the distance between this one and this one is totally dependent on you. For me, what I like to do is I would measure down 4 or 5 inches. If I'm having 2 pockets on a cargo pant, I measure 5 inches away from this side pocket. Okay, and I chalk the 5 inches, and then what I'm going to do is to bring in my pocket, starting with the small ones. So from the 5 inches like this, I'm going to come to the side, leaving about 1/2 of an inch from my side seam. Okay, my side seam, like so. This is my block, my pant block. So now if I want it to start exactly on the seam line, I'm going to join it directly, but what I do basically is to just move it away from the seam line so it can stay at the center. So what I do is I'm using this my pocket to determine the center, so I'm going to measure from there to this point, and I have 7.25. so if you do 7.25, that's going to give you 3.6. okay, 3.6. And then you come to the 5 inches that you marked away, you measure 3.6 like so, and then you place your pocket. So with this, the pocket is going to align, but it would be at the center. Now if you don't want to do it this way, you can do it the first way I told you, which is to mark 1 or 2 inches or sometimes 1/2 inches away from your seam point. So for this one, I'm going to be using 1.5 inch. Okay, let me use 1.5 inch. So I will just go ahead. Remember the 1/2 inches that you ironed on your pocket, do with that 1/2 of an inch. So that's what I want to do now. Just go ahead, fold in by that 1/2 of an inch to the length of your pocket. Okay, let me do that and then show it to you. So I've gone ahead to draw my pocket width and the length. So from here to here is 5 inches wide, and that is the width of my pocket, this first one. And then it's 8 inches long, which is the length of my pocket. So now I outline it so it would be easy for me to stitch. And now I want to go ahead and stitch. So watch what I'm doing now. So fold it in like this. Make sure it's on the line that you marked out. Okay, what I did was just to open up my pant. Remember, I didn't stitch the crotch line, so it's easy for me to, you know, just place it like this and then work with it. So this is my 1/2 inch. I'm going to place it at my starting line. Then you bring it out. So guys, at the end of the day, this is what you would have. Okay, so you stick it on. See the way it is from the side. This is the bottom, this is the other side. So with this now, you've had one pocket on this side, so you just want to go ahead and duplicate the exact same thing on the other end. And then when you want to attach your second pocket, because this is a 2 pocket on one side, the other 2 on the other side. Okay, so now 2 pockets on each side of the band. Okay, so I've stitched this small one, which is this. I'm going to duplicate it on the other side, and then I would come in with the bigger size to complete, like give another pocket downward. So what you want to do is, you don't want your pocket to get to the hem of your pant block, so you could reduce the measurement. You took 5 inches there. If you're very tall, you can duplicate the measurements by taking 5 inches and then attaching. But you can see clearly that if I should measure 5 inches from here to here, this pocket will actually get to the hem of my pant block, which is what I don't want. So you measure about 3 or 2 inches away from this particular pocket, this particular pocket, and then you place the new one, making sure that you have about 2 or 3 inches excess on the, you know, the hem line, because you're going to fold your trouser when you're done stitching. Okay, so you will leave about 2 or 3 inches depending on your hemming allowance, what you left earlier. Mine was 2 inches, so whatever I'm stitching on this pant block, I would make sure it doesn't encroach to my 2 inches hemming allowance. So I would just go ahead and duplicate the exact same thing I did here on this pocket. I'm going to see you guys when I'm done doing that. Okay guys, I'm done joining the pocket, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so this is the 2 pocket, and then the side pocket. See it on both sides, and my crotch is still open. So the next thing we want to do now is to join our crotch line. Okay, we'll join our crotch line like this. So doing that, you're going to flip your fabric to the wrong side. Okay, flip it to the wrong side, and then bring the front crotch to the back crotch like so, making sure they align. And then you're just going to go ahead and stitch from the center. Start your stitching from the middle. okay, where your crotch line is. You stitch it all the way to the hem of your trouser, like this, all the way to the hem, from your crotch like this to the hem of your trouser. When you're done, you're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing on this side. So I'm going to do that and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I'm done stitching. I'm just going to switch it to the right side so you can see. So basically, our size 0 cargo pant is ready with our cargo pocket fixed. And then what I'm going to do next is to just go ahead and hem my full length, okay, with the sewing allowance that I left, which was 2 inches. And you can see the distance from my last pocket to my hemline is pretty much big, should be about 3.5 or 4 inches, okay. Let's confirm that, okay. So here 3 inches, okay, 3 inches, and that's pretty much okay for me to, you know, bend my hemline and then still have 1 inch away from my pocket left, and that's fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and hem my trouser like so, and then fix my waistband, right? So this is the zip. The zipper is zipping. Okay, so that's my zipper, and you can see the zipper flare is sitting very nicely. And you just want to, when you want to attach your waistband, what you want to do is start from one side of your zipper, like from the flyer, measure round what you have to this other end, okay, measure all you have to this other end, and then cut exactly that inches on an extra fabric, which is going to serve as your waistband. Could be 5 inches width, and then the length that you measure, okay. So the width is totally dependent on you, but I like to use 1.5 inch waistband, okay, plus the 1/2 inch under, and that makes it 2 inches. So that is pretty much everything concerning this cargo pants. So this particular one is not having a back pocket, it's just the front pocket. So let me show you the male one that I made with another color. So I made this one earlier this morning, and you can see this one has a belt hook, or you call it belt sitter, okay, at the back. I fixed everything. Look at the way it is. The pocket, it has about 3 pockets on each side, 1, 2, 3, just the way the other one did. And the only difference is that this one has the back pocket, okay, 1, 2, and then the last pocket is on the back block and the front block. That is it. So if you are if you pretty much like that tutorial and you want us to be doing more of that, just do well to subscribe to our channel, give us that thumbs up, turn on the post notification bell, turn your post notification bell, so that whenever we upload a new video, you can follow up what we're doing, okay. You can follow up with what we're doing, not missing out anything. So now we're done with the requested cargo pant tutorial. So what we're going to do is go back to the basics, which is how to read your tape rule, how to take your basic body's measurement, and so on and so forth. I promise that this channel is going to be beginners friendly, and that's what I'm going to do exactly, right? Thank you so much for sticking around. If you watch up to this time, you are the great one here. Thank you and stay safe. Bye.